Welcome to this week's episode of Body Image Confidential. This is a series where I address viewers' questions around challenges of accepting and making peace with their bodies. So, for this week's episode, I'm going to answer a question from Louise. So, Louise says, my 13-year-old boy is ashamed of his body. We try hard to show love and affirm him. I'm devastated to see that he won't take his hoodie off in this hot weather. Both parents are plus size and working on intuitive eating and positive, neutral body image, and never speak negatively about our bodies with him. I feel like I'm failing and I want to help, love, and reassure him. So, Louise, I can only imagine how difficult this is when your child is going through this emotional pain. My daughter is not a teenager yet, but I've certainly had thoughts about those emotional teenage years and how challenging it can be. The teenage years is a tough age for self-consciousness. So that alone is starting to develop in him. He's just becoming more aware of his body, of himself as a person. So those feelings of body insecurity are likely going to start to surface. But I want to address this idea of, you said, I feel like I'm failing him. To me, it doesn't sound like you're failing him at all. You've told me that both yourself and your partner are practicing, positive and neutral body image, affirming, loving him, helping to reassure him. So to me, I don't see in any way how that could constitute any sort of failing. You are absolutely doing your best to show love. I think the challenge is that we can't make someone feel something different. All you can do is just offer what you can. And they will take that in whatever way, but you also never know how this is going to play out in the future. This could be exactly what he needs to hear right now, but just for whatever reason is not able at this moment to be able to totally take it in and change, but it's not for nothing, right? So I just want you to let go of that, the pain of that thought that you're failing him, because that's just adding on so much unnecessary stress and pressure for yourself. Another point that I wanted to make about this is you also don't know kind of what he needs to go through and experience for himself for the future. So this is, I think, probably the hardest part as parents is we're always wanting to protect our children from any sort of pain, of course. And yet this life is going to bring us challenges and we're going to experience pain. And I want to maybe reframe this can be a necessary experience that he needs to go through. For what reason, you don't know yet in the future. But if you can look back at any challenging times that you went through, what did it give you? What did you learn? What did you develop in yourself through that challenge? You have no idea what this is going to be teaching him for the future. So if we can realize that challenges are necessary for our growth and development, then we can see them as not being wrong or bad or like a mistake happened. So I just want to kind of have that little bit of a shift of a reframe that as tough as it is to experience, to see somebody you love going through experiencing negative emotions. This is for him in some way. How? We don't know yet, but see if you can see it in that way. Another aspect I want to say too is sometimes, and I don't know, so again, I don't know exactly how this is all playing out for you, what you're doing, but sometimes when we're so concerned about somebody, and I know that this can especially happen for teenagers, they can just kind of feel like it's almost like a pressure to feel better, or there's a lot of attention all of a sudden on the teenager, and that can almost feel like we don't necessarily know what we want to do with it. It's like we want our parents' love, but we also want to be able to come to them in our own time. So I have no idea, again, I don't know how this is playing out for you, but to also just maybe if it notice, is there any part where this concern and worry for him might be a little bit like a lot on him, and to just kind of pull back from that a little bit and give him time to come to you. Just something to put out there, to consider. And then lastly, something that you can do, which I believe actually is really powerful, is it's really easy when there's quote unquote a problem in our lives. Of course, our attention focuses on it, and we keep thinking, how can I try to fix it or make it better, or get it to go away? And that can, from an energetic perspective, unintentionally, it kind of keeps the attention on the problem and not the solution. So what I would like to invite you to do is just ask yourself, what is it that I'm hoping for him? How would I love to see him being in himself? Do I want to see him being relaxed? Do I want to see him just not, like feeling, you don't have to feel confident in that sense, but just neutral in his body or whatever that might be, and see if you can hold that vision for him. Just focus on that being the attention that you're giving to it. Like if I could, even if it's just a couple minutes, almost like a visualization, if I'm sending out this idea that he is feeling good, that he is happy, and without trying to put it on him, but just hold it for yourself. And that can make a shift in the energy. It can also change our behavior around it, but it takes the attention away from the problem and towards the desired outcome. So that's something else that I want to suggest. So I think you're doing amazing. I know this is a tough situation. It's a hard time, but it sounds like to me you're doing everything you can. If you can give yourself now some compassion and acknowledge yourself for everything that you're doing, I think that can help as well. And remembering too that, you know, nothing lasts forever. So I know some people may say, yes, well, I felt insecure about my body since I was young. And sure, and it also can come and go. And we're also in a different time. I'm imagining you didn't have parents who were practicing intuitive eating and body positivity. So this is different now. This is a different time. Um, that's what I have to offer you today, Louise, and I hope that that is helpful. For anybody watching this, if you found value in this episode today, I encourage you to share in the comments what stood out to you, how you might be practicing helping. If you have a teen that's struggling, what you've maybe found valuable, certainly share that too. Hive mind, we can all benefit from hearing from each other. And if you're not already signed up to my email list, I'd like you to invite you to do that, because I'm going to be sharing some new offerings very soon, some exciting offerings, and that's going to be the first place that I announce it. So if you want to make sure that you hear about it, you could just comment email, and then I'll DM you a link that you can sign up to get on my email list and hear about my new upcoming offers that I'll be having within the next few months before the end of the year. All right, take care, everyone, and I'll see you for next week's episode.